So I've always been too scared to play Noida. You know, that really intense environmental destruction wizard roguelike game. I won't lie, it's pretty intimidating to me. How brutally hard it is, how intense the spellcrafting with how creative you have to get, and just surviving in that game as well. Intense. But you wanna know what I do like? Good old Binding of Isaac, a true classic of roguelikes, and honestly, one of the games I feel truly brought the roguelike genre to life. It's simple but addictive gameplay with so much unlocks and paths to explore. Well, what if we took the spellcrafting and creativity of Noida, plus the combat and chaotic builds of the Binding of Isaac, with the map exploration of games like Ember Knights or Hades tossed in for flavor? Combine all these into one glorious spell, that spell being Magicraft. Join me as I break down its components ranging from gameplay to difficulty to find out if this game is worth your time. But either way, let's start with the story. Alright, small disclaimer, I will be showing minor spoilers throughout this section and throughout the video. If you don't want to see spoilers specifically detailed about the story, you might just want to skip over this section and go into gameplay. I'll leave a timestamp in the top right, you can just skip to that. But without further ado, we play as a, well, kind of a loser gamer who is doing MMO dungeons. He is pretty rude, honestly, and not humble at all. But he has to go to the bathroom. Yes, this is literally a story. And yes, anime people, you might see where this is going. Either way, in the bathroom, he starts to discuss how mages are so cool and how cool it would be to be one. And then BAM! The isekai gods decide to give him what he wishes for, I guess. Rising of the asshole mage, I suppose.
What?
I don't know. I don't watch anime. Either way, you find yourself a staff in the ground, and just pull it out, straight King Arthur style, and then you get your ass haunted. A phantom entering your body, seemingly the phantom of the staff, who explains that you are now the chosen hero sent to go kill the ancient gods. Yep, you just got here, and your next quest is to go kill a god to get home. How hard could it be? It's just killing gods, not like we just got here. Either way, blah blah blah, basic tutorial. You go through areas which have their lores. Fast forward, okay, next.
Skip. But when does this game get good?
It's okay, we beat our first run. We killed the evil gods. What do you mean it wasn't him? Yeah, this game pulls an astral ascent on you, where you have to go kill the boss multiple times to get more powerful to actually go kill the actual ancient gods. But that's basically the story. You go from loser MMO player to hero or something. Also, yes, your MMO party is wondering where you went. Not like you're going to be getting back anytime soon. Though he might not be getting back to his game. Let's talk about the gameplay of this game. Okay, so you remember in the introduction where I discussed crafting spells? Well, we're not going to get into that yet. First, we're going to be talking about what you can find. The main gameplay is you fighting through rooms of enemies, similar to Binding of Isaac or Hades. But this style really reminds me of the Binding of Isaac. After defeating all the enemies, you will be rewarded with an item, which is more like Hades. These items range from max HP growth, coins, crystals, and relics, which relics are just items that give you passive effects. And you guessed the most important of them in my opinion. Spells. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Yeah, we can use these spells and put into our wands to create completely insane combos of insanity. You want to shoot 3 balls at a time? Yep, we can do that. You want to make your projectiles bounce? You got it. You want to shoot so many lasers you hit everything in the room, slowly turning everything into a nice fine paste? Showing no mercy to the abominations in this world, displaying how you are the ultimate force and no god can stop you. Yeah, you can do that. Just make sure you watch your mana consumption on your wand, because that is the only thing stopping you from true world domination. But there's only really one more very important thing I need to discuss, which is different wands. Yep, you can get a different wand for every boss you defeat, and find them in shops. At first you can only hold one wand at a time, but you can use crystals you collect to get more slots along with other various buffs. And yes, each wand has its own mana regen, max mana, and when you switch between the two, they have 2 different mana pools. So make sure you get the most between the 2. And if you're wondering how much mana a wand has, you can notice a blue ring around it, which slowly fills up, displaying how ready it is to use. Also, you can use Ancient Blood, which is an item dropped by bosses to unlock more spells and other various upgrades as you unlock more characters in your camp. But that's basically the main loop. There are a lot of different unlocks and upgrades you can get in this game, and from a gameplay loop, It really feels like all the best parts of Binding of Isaac Chaos, plus games like Noida or Wizard of Legend. I found myself getting lost playing this game, and yes, I still play this game in my downtime since my stream. And very few roguelikes I've reviewed can claim this title, so I have to give this game an easy 5 out of 5 for gameplay. After going over what I think is the strongest part of this game, let's go into what is the weakest part of this game, the visuals. Also, quickly before moving on, just so you know, you can adjust how transparent your spells and summons are and how big your cursors are. You will need to make sure you can see it. Visuals are a little rough. I think one of my stream viewers described it the best. They didn't like the look too much. They didn't look too closely at the game because it looked like a Flash game. And yeah, I can see it. But in my opinion, I think it may be a bit hard to judge in such a manner. Sure, it's not crazily styled or have high graphics, but part of me really enjoys the nostalgia for those old Flash games / Newground games. It really makes me enjoy it and reminds me to the original Binding of Isaac, so I enjoyed it quite a bit. But I will say it isn't exemplary, especially when looking at the monsters, and their designs do really feel like they came straight from Binding of Isaac. So I think it's good, but it doesn't bring the most uniqueness to the table. So I'll be giving a 4 out of 5 for visuals. But from going to the weakest point to only a slightly stronger point, let's go to audio. The sound in this game are quite good. The music is quite enchanting, and I do like how each area feels like it builds up on itself more and more. It is area-based music that doesn't really differ between fights or just empty rooms, so you hear the same thing in the entire area except for shops and boss fights. The music really fits the style, but it isn't truly game-changing. It's not something I would really go out of my way to listen to, and looking at the sound effects, I was initially skeptical because the initial spell sound was that. But after hearing and exploring the game, the sounds are really reinforced for just how strong the spells feel, and honestly I enjoy that quite a lot. Overall, I'll give audio a 4 out of 5, but let's talk about my favorite section, replayability. You wanna know what else is my favorite? Viewers who like my videos. So if you wanna be my favorite, go down there and hit the like button. It's quick, simple, 5 seconds, and I'll appreciate you forever. This game has quite a lot of replayability. Lots of unlocks and buffs to get, lots of different wands and different spells to explore, letting your creativity shine, but above all else, it's how difficulty expands the game. You see, once you beat your first run and go into the next difficulty, you unlock a whole new area which gives so much more to the game. I have only played with the second difficulty as of recording this video, but I assume it expands more and more. And if there is some kind of exploration and choices like in the Binding of Isaac and how you play out a run, this game would be amazing. Of course, it could be in a style more similar to Raven's Watch, where you just unlock new areas and more epilogues as you continue forth, but at this current time, I can't say one way or another. But with all the spells and unlocks, there is plenty to do, and I will be giving replayability a 5 out of 5. But let's talk about how hard you'll get your butt kicked with difficulty. Looking at Magicraft's base difficulty, it isn't too hard. I beat the base difficulty on my second run, so, as I said, not really hard at all. But this game is heavily focused on playing on other difficulties to unlock more content. So, is it fair to really base it on just one difficulty? I don't know, but I'm doing it anyways. Okay, fine. I'll consider it a bit. It doesn't increase difficulty too much, at least from difficulty 0 to 1. As we'll call it. But it does change a little bit, and you do get more areas to go through, thus making it harder to actually beat a run. But overall, I'll still give it a 3 out of 5. Do you agree or disagree with me on my thoughts? Either way, let me know in your comments about this game. I want to hear your thoughts, and I do respond and look at all the comments. But after playing hours of Magicraft, I love this game. From a gameplay standpoint, it has me hook, line, and sinker. The visuals aren't the most impressive, nor is the music, but both get the job done. And the replayability has so much versatility and creativity. It gives you so much autonomy and so much choices that you can play around with. So, with all this in mind, I will happily give Magicraft a 4 magic wands out of 5. A wonderfully fun game. It's not the most visually or audio impressive, but looking at its gameplay and how much autonomy it gives the players, I would recommend it to anyone who likes to just test things out and see your creativity truly shine through your spells and how you play. Anyone who appreciates creating crazy builds that blot out the entire screen, and people who want to play a mean MMO gamer who gets isekai'd into a magical world, I guess. But if you want to see another game that is more visually impressive, but gives that magical kind of eldritch vibe, check out my video on Raven's Watch, a top-down action roguelike where you fight against the clock to get as powerful as you can before the nightmares take you.